Good evening, I'm Greg Sharpe. Our sports ticker brought to you by the 1890 Initiative. Amy Williams Huskers take the court tonight at PBA against Michigan State. The Huskers are currently 4-6 in league play and need to string together some wins before we get to the month of March. Tip-off tonight again, 7:30. Our pregame show begins at 7. Elsewhere in the conference tonight, Michigan all over Illinois, 36-14 late first half in Ann Arbor. Northwestern against Penn State is tipping off at the bottom of the hour, and then at 7:30, a top 10 battle tonight. Number 8, Maryland, taking on number 6, Iowa. On the men's side, Wisconsin and Ohio State are underway. The Badgers out to an 8-0 start 2 minutes into the game in Columbus. Northwestern is hosting a game. They lead 1-0 on Michigan's men. That game is in Evanston. Ticket sales continue to be brisk for the Huskers spring game on April 22nd. As of mid-afternoon today, over 36,000 tickets have been sold. We told you last night that Tom Brady is retiring after an amazing career. The movie 80 for Brady opens today in theaters around the country. Of course, Jessica's already purchased her tickets to this artistic masterpiece. The 1890 Initiative, helping Husker student-athletes navigate name, image, and likeness. To learn more or donate, visit 1890nebraska.com. Now let's get ready for another night, a short night of Sports Nightly here on the Huskers Radio Network.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who remind you to buckle up and put the phone down.
On the deep right wing, she'll launch a three. You betcha! Back-to-back triples for Jazz Shelley.
Flips it between the circles to Wiltshire, touch pass. Denham Dawson, jump stop, puts it up, reverse layup, good! Holy smokes, what a play!
Here are your hosts, Greg Sharpe and Jessica Coody on the Huskers Radio Network.
You'll have to tell me how the movie is once you see it.
I didn't even know it was happening, so yeah.
You've seen previews?
No, I haven't.
Really?
No.
Oh, it's been all over the games. It's these elderly ladies who are big Tom Brady fans, and this is based on a true story. They crash a Super Bowl. They don't have tickets, so they go.
True story?
It's based on a true story.
Okay.
So they crashed this Super Bowl. I think it was in Houston. Whenever it was in Houston a few years ago, Brady was still a member of the Patriots at that time. And then they end up going to some Super Bowl parties, and they meet some celebrities who kind of hear their story and get them tickets to the game.
Is it out already?
Today. You didn't listen to my tickers. Today.
Well, I kind of listened when you started saying that I already got my tickets. That actually sounds like a movie my mom and I would like to go to.
Great cast. Sally Field, Jane Fonda, Lily Tomlin, and Brady makes a cameo in it. I think Gronk's in it too.
Oh, of course Gronk's in it.
Yeah, Gronk's in everything, right?
That dude needs to be a WWE superstar now.
Right.
Him and Garrett Nelson are like WWE superstars in the waiting.
Told you a couple days ago, Garrett participated in a NFLPA All-Star game and did some really good things in practice all week. Trey Palmer's opening some eyes at the Senior Bowl practice this week. He is doing some really good things.
And that's a big part of it, right? I mean, there are quite a few wide receivers, but you can separate yourself, and his speed is going to do so. And
they said he's clocked the fastest time down there.
Yeah, I think throughout this process, because, again, he just kind of had where he was behind some people at LSU, and then with Casey getting hurt with a few games, because he had started getting some momentum. And then, when Casey went down, he had a couple of games that he didn't produce as much. But I think he's a guy, because there was times there after those few games that there were people saying second, third round, right?
Yep.
I mean, that's kind of what was the rumblings. And then he kind of dropped off after had a couple of those, or a few weeks of less production games. Then he played really well against Iowa, and Iowa has a defense that has guys that are playing in the league, and a lot of times that's the film that guys like to look at. And he had a couple of good catches against Oklahoma, who, again, talking about last year when these scouts would come in or pull up the film, they would go right to that Oklahoma game last year because there were a lot of guys on that defense that were going to the league. So that's a lot of times what they compare. So they'll go watch the Iowa game, maybe the Oklahoma game, but I think he's the guy that definitely can make some money throughout this process leading up to the draft.
If only we knew a scout or an agent.
Well, we know an agent we could call. I do know a scout, but I probably couldn't get him on the. I'll just ask him for his opinion. Maybe he'll let me know.
We know an agent, huh?
I know a scout, and we know an agent.
Yep.
So we got to get both's opinions.
Yeah. Yesterday was a busy day. You were just extremely busy. You had the National Girls and Women's Sports Day and then signing day, and my head was spinning. You made the perfect comment last night about Matt Rural. He gives an answer, and you're like, wow, there's like 5 things in that answer that I'd love to pick apart.
Yeah, well, I feel like I did that, and then I just rambled because he makes it sound so much better than me. He has like... He weaves it so eloquently, and so then I'm like, I want to talk about that and that and that and that, but I don't weave it as well when I'm picking apart his answer. But yeah, I mean, he does. He gives you so many nuggets within each answer, and I'm like, oh, that was good. Oh, wait, that was good.
Yes.
That was good. I would not like to be people cutting sound bites for like news, where you just got to get like a 20-second, 30-second bite. Because like his whole answer, a whole 5-minute answer is good. That's like more than a sports cast.
That's what the beautiful thing of what we do is we can give you like a complete answer and then go, wow, wasn't that great, folks? And then break it down.
Because if it's like a minute and a half, 2 minutes, like a sports cast is what, 3:30?
Tops.
It's like, how do you get all that golden nuggets in that?
When I started in TV sports, it was we would get 5 minutes every night. When I left, it was 3. It's probably 2.5 now.
I don't know what it is now. It's been a while since I was in the news, but when I left, it was 3:30. And anytime there was weather was the first thing they got taken away from you.
There was a 2-mile-per-hour wind. They got an extra 30 seconds.
I used to have to be the person that if there was stuff that crossed over, whether it be news or weather, they'd pull me from sports. And so I'd be out there in the blizzard like, stay at home. Don't go outside. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, it's snowing. It's icy. It's miserable. It's cold. Stay home. Back to you in the studio.
I don't think any producer that I work for liked me because I always got in arguments about I needed more time.
Did you see the viral clip of the Iowa guy who was just...
I don't know why I'm here. It's 3:30 in the morning. I don't know what I'm doing. That was great. That was great. Hey, big game tonight. This is one... You don't want to say must win because it's too early yet, but this is a really big game for the Huskers tonight.
Yeah, really is. I mean... We dove into it a little bit last night, but I think this team, there's definitely some games that they must win, and there are some games that could really, really help their resume. And I think, those games were at Michigan and what was the other one we had said last night?
Iowa here.
Yep. Those two aren't going to kill you if you lose those, but they're going to be a team right now that people are starting to say they're on the bubble. Whether they are or aren't, once they get into that committee, there's a lot of people that like to, have the projections and all of that. And Matt Coatney, Jeff Greasher, too, that they don't buy into that, that what ESPN is selling right now, that they've been pretty wrong in the past. But I do think that, if they lose any more that they're not supposed to lose, they are firmly going to be on that bubble watch. And so they need to take care of business, absolutely, and win these games that they are supposed to win. And in terms of if you're trying to figure out and go on to that bracketology, we need to just have Coatney and Grease do their own, because I think they know it better than what we see, and they definitely study it a lot better. So I'm not claiming to say that ESPN's wrong or whatever, but I'm just saying don't buy all your stock into that. And Cody and I talked about that a couple of weeks ago. I think we still got a few more weeks to play out, but I do think people will start firmly putting them on that bubble watch if they don't win these games that they're supposed to win.
Right. And this is, not that Michigan State's a bad team. They're not. That they've got some good wins on their resume as well, but this is just one of those games at home. You need to protect home court. And so that's why this is a big game tonight. It's 7:30 tip, kind of that rare tip time. It's based on TV again. It's a doubleheader now on BTN. They've got Michigan and Illinois going now. They're at halftime of that game, and then the Huskers will be at 7:30 tonight. So big game tonight for the Huskers. Let's hope, they have not played a lot. Cole and I were talking about this before the show. They had a Sunday home game with Maryland and then had 6 days off before they played at Iowa. And now they've had 5 days off since the Iowa game. It's going to get – the pace is picking up after tonight quite a bit. But they've had a lot of time in the gym to practice.
And they played well at Iowa.
They did play well at Iowa.
So they had some good flashes there at Iowa. So, again, you had some time in the gym. You got some rest. You got some people healthy. And then you played pretty well the last time out. So, again, keep building and putting it – this is the time you want to be playing your best, right? I mean – You said it too. I mean, there are times that some teams that lost some games, and then boy, they all of a sudden get hot. Those committees like hot teams. They want teams that are going on the upward trajectory into the postseason, and so lots of opportunities here to get on a roll and start playing your best basketball. And I mean, the Big Ten tournament opportunity too. But yes, still right now, even before we even start talking about that, and even February 18th, you got lots of games ahead right now that you got to take care of business one at a time along the way.
They like hot teams. They like teams that can win away from home as well. So a couple more road wins would be really beneficial for the Huskers as well. Tonight, those at home. Northwestern Monday on the road, and a chance to go get another one away from home. Hopefully that they're a healthy team. I've not heard from Amy Williams. We haven't had her on for about a week. So hopefully they're a healthy team going into tonight. You want to try. Nobody's healthy right now. Everybody's got somebody out, missing, and obviously Allison Widener's the biggest one for the Huskers right now.
Yeah, but Alexis Markowski had the ankle tweak, and then still, I think Sam Hybe still with every time out, I think she feels better and better because it's just going to be a process, and I think she looks better and better each time she gets out and plays, and so I think some of the people that you had that were a little maybe banged up, a little tweaked, hopefully over the last couple of weeks they've been able to get them back and get. Again, continue to get Sam back feeling as good as she can and get Alexis Markowski back 100%.
That'll be great. All right, again, that's coming up at the top of the hour. Matt and Jeff will have it for us, so we've got a little bit of time to play with. But the men's coach, Fred Hoiberg, they were gone for 5 days. They did not come home between the game at Maryland and the game at Illinois. They got back late, actually early Wednesday morning. He's going to stop by for a little bit to update us on that team. Again, they're trying to figure out life without Juwan and Emmanuel. And by the way, the athletic department did announce today that they both have had their surgeries and both went pretty well. Yeah,
and I saw Emmanuel Vanderbilt yesterday leaving the Devaney Center, and he seemed to be in great spirits. And, definitely just stinks because he was such a big part of this team. But I think he'll rebound. And another thing, too, we've talked a little bit, we really talked about with Ernie Ziegler the last time he was on, is that even though his eligibility is up, they're going to take care of him and make sure that he's got everything. He already had a surgery, obviously, but then rehab and all of that. And they're going to make sure that the options are there for him if he needs to stick around for another semester, another year, whatever that might be, to get healthy, get right. And we were talking about this, too. I don't know if we were talking about it on the air or off the air, and there's still obviously some restrictions as well with who's allowed to be on the court. But how good would it be if Emmanuel Vanderbilt is trying to get back healthy to maybe go play pro somewhere, and you have him on your scout team preparing your team each and every day in practice? How good would that be?
Huge.
I don't know if it's legal or not, NCAA violation. I don't know how all that works. But the women have practice players.
They do.
So I don't know. Again, I have no idea. That's why I'm not in compliance. That's why I'm thankful I'm not in compliance. That's why I do not have the NCAA book memorized, but it would be really beneficial if you had a guy like Emmanuel Vanderbilt who was trying to get back healthy and he was coming back here and going up against your guys, because he's as good of a defender as they would see in college.
Be really helpful. Would be really helpful. All right, let's go. Coach Hoiberg here in a couple of minutes. Also, big track meet, the Frank Savine Invitational, biggest indoor meet for Husker track, and the indoor season starts tomorrow at the Devaney Center, runs into Saturday. Interim head coach Justin St. Clair will be here to talk about the start to the year, which has been really good for both the men and the women. The men are up to number 6 in the country in the indoor rankings. The women cracked the top 25 this week, and a lot of it's on the strength of the throwers. They've got some impressive marks in the throwing. Also, Jenna Rogers and Mason Connor in the high jump have had tremendous indoor seasons. So we're going to get a rundown on that. If you're looking for something to keep you occupied later tomorrow or Saturday, think about heading out to the Devaney Center. You'll see some really good track and field time. So Justin coming up in this hour as well on the program. All right, 402-413-2400. That's the number to call us up with a comment, or question, or fire off a text. Sam in Omaha wants to know if we can maybe get Cam Jurgens or Jack Stoll. I do have a text out to Jack. Hopefully he'll get back with us before they get to Phoenix. Both those guys are a part of your team, the Eagles. I guess they're your team now. Your team moves like a moving target. 1 week it's the Cowboys, then it's the Bengals. I
was
and
never
then
with
it's
the Cowboys, except for when I was 8 years old.
You got all this gear. You got all this Cowboy gear.
I do not have all this gear. Don't over-exaggerate. I had one jersey. I had a bunch of jerseys. When I was like the little girl, the tomboy little girl that wore a jersey every day. And so I just had a jersey, a Cowboys jersey. But I was not a Cowboys fan.
Fair enough. We're hoping to get Jack Stoll. Maybe we can grab him. Jack,
and I'll try to reach out to Cam Jurgens, but I don't know. He did not respond to me last time.
He's not real loving of interviews. Jack had a catch in the Niners' victory in the NFC Championship game. All right, Coach Hoiberg going to be heading your way next.
Hi, it's Sam McEwen from the Omaha World Herald.
And I'm Amy Just from the Lincoln Journal-Star.
Hey, listen, HuskerExtra.com and the Husker Extra mobile app have the best coverage of Nebraska sports.
Our reporting team shares features and analysis of all Husker sports, along with the latest recruiting news and more.
Plus, Husker Extra subscribers have access to our exclusive podcast, The Showdown, where we share our latest insights and expectations.
Go to HuskerExtra.com or search Husker Extra in your app store.
Download and subscribe today.
The name on the mailbox may say Smith, Myers, Baumgartner, or Johnson, but when you choose to plant with Rob Seco, it includes your name too, making you a stockholder in a company that's invested in you. With the simplicity that makes us easy to do business with, relationships that bring more to the table, the technology, traits, and genetics that take on local conditions, and people with the know-how to use it. At Rob Seco, the only stockholder we listen to is you.
The Lead Center for Performing Arts is celebrating 33 years of bringing the world's top artists to the University of Nebraska-Lincoln campus. Upcoming shows include Hamilton, Yo-Yo Ma, American Ballet Theater, and Alanis Morissette's Jagged Little Pill. Get tickets at leadcenter.org.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Huskers, do you want a fulfilling career that's financially rewarding? Explore the many ways you can be a part of the insurance community. Go to iian.org/careers today. Business insurance is a lot to manage. Did you know a trusted choice independent insurance agent can help guide you through it at no extra cost to you? They'll do your insurance. You just do you. Find out more at trustedchoice.com.
More Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic care first. Studies show that chiropractic is safe, drug-free, and the most effective treatment option for back, neck, and joint pain. It can also help patients of all ages reduce migraines, improve mobility, and maximize athletic performance. Keep the entire family healthy and active with natural, cost-effective chiropractic care. Find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts. At Nebraska, our people will always be our greatest asset. Day by day, donors give our teams the best opportunity to compete and win through their generous donations. Our vision for the future is ambitious and requires help from those who want to see Husker athletics excel at the highest level. Go big and join thousands of other Huskers Athletic Fund members with your gift today at huskers.com/donate.
In America, the future belongs to everyone. So we designed the Ford trucks of the future for everyone. Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 45 years straight. Made for performance and capability on and off-road. Because the trucks of the future aren't designed for a few. They're built for America. Ford F-Series. Drive one today. Based on 1977 to 2021 calendar year total sales.
Hey everyone, I'm Mark Wahlberg, and I have some exciting news to share. At Wahlburgers, we are all about bringing the family together to enjoy a great meal and have a great time. That's why right now, for a limited time, kids eat free every day at all Hy-Vee Wahlburger locations. Kids 12 and under can enjoy one free kids meal with any purchase of an adult burger, sandwich, or entree salad.
Bring the family to Wahlburgers and the Wahlburgers and Hy-Vee stores, where right now kids can eat free.
Cornerstone Bank proudly serves Nebraska with a full line of loan and deposit products. Cornerstone is large enough to handle all of your financial needs while offering the personal service you deserve and the local decision-making you expect from a family-owned community bank. Stop in or call one of the Cornerstone Bank locations near you to discover the Cornerstone difference. Bank on a solid foundation. Cornerstone Bank. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender. Loan subject to approval.
At CHI Health Clinic, we believe healthcare should be personal because knowing your provider personally makes appointments more comfortable, more productive, and more meaningful to your overall health. Get matched with a primary care provider based on your personality and lifestyle using CHI Health Clinic's My Provider Match. Take the survey at myprovidermatch.com to find the right provider for you. Getting healthier starts by getting personal at CHI Health Clinic.
My husband and I love to live in Nebraska.
It's the good life.
We always vacation here.
Love those Nebraska state parks.
We love to eat here.
Where are you going to get a better steak?
And we love to play here, especially Nebraska Pick 5 from the Nebraska Lottery. It has a $50,000 starting jackpot, drawing 7 days a week, and all the proceeds go back to our state.
Hey, honey, this weekend, let's buy some Nebraska Pick 5 tickets, go to a state park, and grill some steaks.
Like our first date.
I'm no amateur.
Top prize odds 1 in 501,000.
Welcome back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, which is sponsored by Acres, the Midwest's premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres solutions for every field. Busy week, busy travel week for Husker basketball, so we're able to snag the coach for a couple minutes here tonight. Back-to-back road trips where you did not come back. And really good effort at both Maryland and Illinois, but I know the turnover bug kind of raised its ugly head.
Yeah, we kind of beat ourselves, I thought, in those games with the turnovers, and especially when you look at that Maryland team, they're one of the best in the country at converting off turnovers, and that's what contributed a lot to their 22 points in transition. And it's hard to win. It's hard to win a game on the road. We turned it over 19 times. They are a very good pressure team. What we did a really good job of was against their full court pressure, which is something that you don't see a lot in this league. We handled that very well, and they generally fall back into a zone, which we haven't seen zone in probably a month, and that always concerns you. But we attacked it. We got it in the middle. We had some good slashes on the baseline, hit a three against it, and really got them out of that. And, man-to-man, they really just got their hands on a lot of balls, unforced ones. Those are the ones that really bother you, is when you have unforced turnovers that lead to runouts, lead to transition, because there's nothing you can do to get back and get your defense set. Illinois, we were really good in the first half. They had a little bit of a lead. We kept coming. I thought we had great effort, and it was a one-point game at halftime, and that's what you want to do. And when you're on the road, you want to do everything you can to give your team an opportunity to win, and our guys did that. They did exactly what they were supposed to do to keep it close. And then second half, really inexcusable. The first 5 possessions, we turned it over 4 times and had 9 second-half turnovers, and that led to the difference in the game. We had a lead. We had a lead in that game with about 12 minutes left. Casey hit the 3 after CJ just hit one, forced Illinois into a timeout, and from there we just unraveled. And a lot of that had to do with Derek's foul trouble. Derek picked up his 4th pretty shortly thereafter on, I thought, a very questionable call, Greg. It bothers you when something like that takes your guy out of the game. It happened the last time we played Illinois on kind of a phantom second foul, and then got him back in, and unfortunately picked up his 5th with about 3.5 to go when we were still in striking distance. It was a 7-point game when Derek fouled out. We just weren't the same. We didn't execute great. We continued to turn it over, and that led to 2 losses. But from an effort standpoint, our kids are continuing to go out there and play hard. Our young guys are getting great experience right now with Emmanuel and with Jawan out of the lineup. Sam Hoiberg gave us great minutes at Maryland, had a really good quality game, confidence-building type game. Jamarcus continues to do a lot of good things for us out there. And then Denham. We're starting 3 freshmen right now in the Big Ten on the road against a really quality opponent, and we hung in there against them. So a lot of good things we can continue to build on. We just have to clean up the turnovers.
You were forced to learn to play without your 2 really good defenders in Emmanuel and Jawan. Are you kind of figuring out rotations without him? I mean, you have no choice now.
We're getting there. And again, Derek, you look at his minutes when he was on the floor against Illinois. He played 22 minutes with the foul trouble, and we were plus 10 when Derek was on the floor. That just shows you what he means to our system, both offensively and defensively. It's good to get Blaze. Blaze gave us some good minutes. He's getting back healthy again. We wanted to get him about 10 or 11, 12 minutes. He played almost 11 in that game. Drew a charge for us. A guy that can help us on the rebounds. We struggled in that area as well. When Jawan and Emmanuel, two of your better rebounders, are off the floor, we need somebody to help and pick up the slack. The other thing we did in those games, which we've been elite at pretty much all season, is we're fouling too much. And some of those, Derek's had 3 of them that were absolute no-brainer fouls, and he has to prevent those types of things from happening. But we're reaching in too much. Maryland goes 24 or 26 from the line and had too many fouls. I think first half, Illinois shot 9, and that's a lot for us. We were top 3 for a lot of the year in foul rate, and right now we're putting the other team on the line too much.
First Interstate Bank, built for you. Learn more at www.firstinterstatebank.com, member FDIC. 3 of the 4 halves, you shoot over 50%, so your efficiency when you were getting shots, really, really good.
Yeah, it's we're getting better in that area, but again, the turnovers. You think about that. You shoot over 50. We shot 58% in the second half at Maryland, and if you get however many it was, 10 turnovers in the second half, you get 5 of those, you score 10 to 13 extra points in those games just based on the percentages. So we have to do a better job of taking care of it. We did a really good job in the first half at Illinois. We did not play in a crowd. Our cutting had great purpose and pace to it. Played off at Derek and got a lot of baskets because of it. Second half, we just got sped up and started spinning in a crowd. Got in there, didn't come to a jump stop enough, and that's what led to a lot of those turnovers. And some were just a one-hand pass. Derek threw a one-hand pass right out of bounds. You can't do that. And, it's been a big emphasis today in practice, going out there and just making simple plays. When we make simple plays, generally good things happen.
You mentioned getting Blaze back. I think he played 3 or 4 minutes since the injury in the Queens game, which is pre-Christmas. How did he come off of that? Was he sore? How did he bounce back from playing 11 minutes the other night?
Yeah, he did have some soreness, which is to be expected right now. He had a high ankle sprain, and those take a long time to heal. We got him back in the lineup a little bit. He had some setbacks, so we decided to give him an extended period off, and now we're starting to get him back. The biggest thing with Blaze is getting himself back in shape, getting the timing of it. He still at times struggles to execute on the road when the crowd gets really loud with the language barrier. He's getting better at it. Emmanuel was the guy that really helped him because he would speak French and relay. That's the kind of Blaze's second language, and he would relay the call to Blaze in French. And that was when, Blaze would execute better with Emmanuel on the floor just because of the language. So that's the biggest thing, getting his timing back, getting his wind back and his conditioning, and then going out and executing the offense.
I think we touched on this the last time you were in. With all the injuries, you do have a red shirt in Ramil Lloyd. Was there any discussion about, do you play the last 10, 11 games of the year? Take us through that.
Yeah, we had some discussions with Ramel, talked to him, and when you look at it, as far as where our season is, where we're going, do you pull a red shirt and get a guy that has to get, all of a sudden his mind has to flip? We get the guys reps that are eligible to play. So those are the guys that are getting all the offensive reps in your first and second team. Ramel's role really on this team has been more running the other team's stuff, the opponent, the scout team. Always try to make him the featured guy on the perimeter in the scout team. So, you would have had to flip that and get him ready quickly and get him acclimated, which I think Ramel probably could have done. But then again, do you burn a season, based on playing 10 games, or do you give him 4 full years at 30-plus games? And that's kind of what it came down to. Plus, we felt good. Sam had been practicing really well, so wanted to give him opportunity to get out there and play. He's been practicing hard for 2 years, and you see he's taking advantage of that. Jamarcus, obviously, his role has increased in a big way starting now, and he's, the decision early in the year was to play him. And then Denham gives you a defensive presence out there, and he's going to continue to grow on the offensive end as well. So, just looked at a lot of different factors and felt the best decision, at least for the remainder of this season, was to keep the red shirt on.
Mentioned you did not come back after the Maryland game. Where'd you practice?
It felt like we were on the road for a month. I mean, I used to, and I talked to our guys about this, is when I played for the Bulls, that was when Barnum and Bailey would rent out the United Center for 2 weeks every year in November. So you had what we called the circus trip, and we'd go on the road for 2 weeks and go out to the West Coast and be on the road for 14 or 15. Well, I think one year we played 8 games in 16 days on a West Coast swing. And, the thing about that is you have a lot of downtime, okay? But the thing in those NBA cities, you go out to dinners and, you have a lot of things that you can do.
You're in big cities,
You're in big cities. And Champaign, was a lot of sitting around the hotel. Guys would go out a little bit. But when you get that practice time, you have to maximize it. And that first day we practiced in their practice facility, had a good sharp workout, put our game plan in, and then the next day before the game we went to the arena and then had our shoot around the day of. But it really did feel like a long trip. And you have to handle that right. You have to get your rest. You can't stay up all night, whatever, social media, video games, whatever it is. You have to find a way to get your rest. And then when you get that very important time on the floor, you have to maximize that. And, again, our guys, you look at the effort they came out and played against Illinois. I thought they did a good job preparing and doing what they had to do to keep themselves ready.
Folks, buckle up. Put that phone down. A reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. All right, back home Sunday game with Penn State. You just played them a couple weeks ago. What needs to be different this time? Yeah, well, we need to make sure we guard the three. They hit one on the first possession, got a 4-point play. We fouled them shooting threes. Basically gave them 7 points on fouling 3-point shooters. We have to do a better job with that. We got back in the game after digging ourselves a 10-0 hole, and we're right there. And then they pulled away at the end. I think it was a 10 or 11-point game at the end. When they're hitting shots, they're tough to beat. You saw last week against Michigan, they had them down 35 at one point in that game. They had a game against Indiana earlier where they made 18 threes. I thought the game against Purdue, they doubled Edey, and Purdue made a ton of shots. Gillis made 9 threes against them in that game. So, I think they'll double-team Derek. They did a lot of that the first time we played them, and just have to be ready to knock down some shots. Our biggest thing right now, Greg, we have to take care of the ball. We have to rebound better. If we do those two things, we'll have a chance. I mean, I see you back home. How much do you tweak what you do when you play somebody that close together? Like you are with Penn State. How much adjusting do you do? Yeah, I mean, absolutely. There'll be adjustments. They will, you will. Yeah, and we're putting in new defensive schemes just based on where we are right now with our roster. We have to. We have to be ready. We played quite a bit of zone against Illinois, more than we have in the past, and we're just going to continue to add to our defensive package, probably more than offense right now. And, we've really tried to simplify our offense, and I think you've seen better movement and you've seen better efficiency when we're not turning the ball over. So, the biggest thing for us defensively is taking what we get. We had good thing as well, 3 days of practice heading into this game, continuing to add to our defensive package, try to keep teams off balance. When your best 2 perimeter defenders are out of the lineup, you just have to add to that. So it's pretty rare in the middle of a season, to kind of restructure your defense. When those 2 guys were healthy, we were top 35 in the nation in defensive efficiency. Not only do you see the impact of losing them, but that, I think, has affected Derek on the back line. We don't guard the ball as well as we did. Emmanuel's as good a defensive guy on the ball as I've ever coached, and you lose that. Now there's more attack, and Derek has to help, and he's got to be better getting there early, doing work early. But we've had more blow-bys, and that certainly has contributed to the foul trouble. Coach, it came out earlier today that both of those guys have had their surgeries done, and they're doing okay? They're doing great, yeah. Both were at practice this morning, and it's good to see them. They give our guys a lift, and, even though they're not on the floor, they still provide leadership and talk to our young guys and keep their spirits high. So, Emmanuel, it's amazing. He really has no pain in his knee, and, for a guy that's never been hurt before, never had an ankle sprain, never had anything serious happen, I think he'll recover quickly and he'll get himself ahead of schedule. Jawan has quite a bit of pain in that shoulder, and they really did a number on him. And that game against Illinois in the first half when he got injured had a pretty significant tear. So, get him fixed up. The good thing about the timing for Jawan, he'll miss most of the summer, but once we start fall and we're going to go on a trip this upcoming summer, he'll be back for all of that, and he'll be able to participate in those games, most likely, at least some of them. So, to get him healthy now and have 2 years in a Husker uniform, you see the value that he has on our team, but we're all excited about getting Jawan back. Good. Well, appreciate you coming in. I know it's been a long week with all the travel. Let's go get the Nittany Lions on Sunday. Come on. Yep. Good seeing you, Greg. Appreciate it. Yep. There he is, Fred Hoiberg, with us here on Sports Nightly. Our hotline brought to you by Woodhouse, where you can shop your way from one of the 16 convenient locations or online at woodhouse.com anytime. 18 brands and a huge selection of pre-owned. You can always find what you're looking for with Woodhouse. We're back to talk some Husker track and field. Interim head coach Justin St. Clair will join us next.
A DUI is everything you didn't prepare for. You did not save for it. You did not train for it. You did not go to school for it. You did not raise your family or buy a house or get a job for it. It is not your life goal or a dream come true. You have planned for everything in your life. You did not plan for a DUI. Get a ride. A DUI costs more than you think.
Brought to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Get ready again for some Nebraska farm facts. When there's work to be done, Nebraska soybeans are on the job in many of your everyday products. In fact, Nebraska soybeans are hard at work in Goodyear tires, Ford cars and trucks, Skechers shoes, asphalt, fuels, lubricants, name brand paints and stains, and more. Soybeans are an innovative replacement for petroleum, leading to more sustainable products all over the world. This message is brought to you by Nebraska soybean farmers, growing opportunity from the ground up.
In America, the future belongs to everyone. So we designed the Ford trucks of the future for everyone. Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 45 years straight. Made for performance and capability on and off-road. Because the trucks of the future aren't designed for a few. They're built for America. Ford F-Series. Drive one today. Based on 1977 to 2021 calendar year total sales.
Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska exists to be there with you. They are rooting for the schools and teachers who make our communities great. That's why Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska is proud to sponsor Touchdowns for Teachers and ask Husker fans to nominate outstanding educators who help Nebraska students reach their potential. If there's a teacher you want to recognize for the impact they've made in your community, find a nomination form at huskers.com/touchdowns for teachers.
29 to go before halftime. That was a big three-point goal. Here's Wilcher up top in the midcourt left side. He fires a 25-footer. Got it! Bang! Bang for C.J. Wilcher, a CVA 3. How huge was that?
Hey Husker fans, this Sunday join Kemp Pavelka and Jake Muehlheisen on the HRN as the men's basketball team matches up with Penn State. Coverage begins at 2:30 p.m. Tune in to your local affiliates or at huskers.com or by using the Huskers mobile app. Go Big Red.
Purchasing your next vehicle has never been easier with Woodhouse Ford. Whether you are shopping in-store or online, we provide a stress-free, streamlined process that's tailored to meet your needs. The 2023 Ford lineup is packed with features to enhance your lifestyle. Whichever model you choose, there's a collection of standard and available options, so your vehicle can be equipped to do whatever you want. Visit us in Blair, Omaha, and Plattsmouth, or online anytime at woodhouse.com. Shop for your next vehicle when you want and where you want with Woodhouse Ford.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Celebrating 50 years in the commercial real estate development industry in Omaha and nationwide, Noddle Companies is proud to continue its tradition of supporting Husker athletics. Check out what's new in Omaha, which includes revolving recreation and the food hall at Zone 6 in Exarban Village. Another exciting project coming soon are the Blackstone Urban Row townhomes. Noddle Companies, creating long-term value through community development. For more information, visit noddlecompanies.com. Go Big Red.
SOS to the rescue. SOS to the rescue.
As the Huskers head to halftime, Frank is off the couch and headed for the fridge. Ooh, but he can't make it because he is so cold. The furnace is out again. SOS, he screams, and calls SOS Heating and Cooling, his favorite Luxair dealer trusted since 1950. With Luxair, you get a free 10-year labor warranty with a new system. SOS Heating and Cooling.
SOS to the rescue. SOS. SOS.
When you're prepared for life, you get more out of life. When you're prepared, you spend less time worrying and more time doing the things you love. How prepared are you? When you're ready to find out, Emeritus is ready to help. First, we get to know you. Then we make a plan together, one that lets you enjoy today and prepare for tomorrow. That's what we call fulfilling life. Emeritus, insurance, employee benefits, financial services.
Dear gas prices, go take a hike.
Toyota is the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years. The Toyota hybrid lineup brings efficiency with power, savings with style, and top-notch tech to keep you connected. Not to mention plush premium interiors and the most advanced Toyota safety features. So, now you know who you're talking to. Toyota, the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years. Toyota, the brand with a hybrid or electric vehicle for every driver. Toyota, the brand that helps save you money at the pump. Now, let me ask you a question, dear gas prices. You really think you can stand in the way of the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years? Think again. Toyota Hybrids. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Based on manufacturer estimates, CY 2000 through 2021 sales.
Hi, it's Sam McEwen from the Omaha World Herald.
And I'm Amy Just from the Lincoln Journal-Star.
Hey, listen, HuskerExtra.com and the Husker Extra mobile app have the best coverage of Nebraska sports.
Our reporting team shares features and analysis of all Husker sports, along with the latest recruiting news and more.
Plus, Husker Extra subscribers have access to our exclusive podcast, The Showdown, where we share our latest insights and expectations.
Go to HuskerExtra.com or search Husker Extra in your app store.
Download and subscribe today.
Insider Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center. It is sponsored by Acres. They are the Midwest's premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres, solutions for every field. Boy, Husker track and field, both the men and women now nationally ranked. Big meet coming up this weekend at the Devaney Center, the Frank Savine, and delighted to have interim head coach Justin Sinclair with us. Congratulations. I know we're pretty far into the indoor season now. You have to be really pleased with some of the marks and some of the numbers your teams are putting up.
Well, thanks for having me, first off. I would say, the indoor season has really kicked off pretty solid. I think there's a lot of great results, right? But to me, what's really, really fun to watch is the team environment and how we have come together as a team. To me, that's been really fun to watch, and I think that makes those results even better because now we are kind of lining up, whether if it's on the track or on the runway or in the circle, and we know, yes, these results are individual, but we're also doing it for each other. We're doing it for a team. Again, the results are individual, but we are fighting for each other. And it's very obvious to me as I sit back and watch that we are passionate for helping each other become better. And I think that's, a little bit of a result of some of those results.
Your background is extensive with the throwers. Let's start there. For our audience's benefit, tell us about some of the performances you've seen from both the male and female side of the throwers.
We started off pretty solid. I always believe there's more room for improvement because I don't want to be good, I want to be great. And right now we have Jonah Wilson, who is currently ranked #2 in the country in the shot put, 67 feet. Max Otterdahl, who is #5 in the country in the shot put. And also, I think at the end of the weekend, he was 4th in the weight throw as well. And then we have Axelina Johansson in the women's shot put, who is sitting, I believe, 4th in the national rankings. And then Taylor Latimer in the women's weight throw, who is currently 11th, I believe, in the women's weight throw.
Pretty impressive. You've also had some jumpers who put up some pretty good marks in the first month. Tell us about some of your jumpers.
Yeah, Mason Connor doing great. Jumped 7.3 last weekend. Wow. And it was a little bit interesting because in Lubbock, it's a very busy meet. There's a lot of things going on. And when I looked, Mason was at 6'11", and he kind of had stopped. So I thought, well, he's done for the day. Next thing I know, I look on the big screen, and here he is hopping over 7.3, and I said, oh, hot dog. Not only was it a PR, improved his national ranking, so doing really well. And we had another individual Tyus, who decided to finally get back over 7 feet, which has been a while for him, so that was really great. And we have Jenna in the high jump, jumping really well. She's gone a little bit over her PR. So
love talking to her, by the way.
Yeah,
what a fun personality.
Yeah, she's a great individual. Yeah, and then Lisa in the women's long jump has been jumping really well. She had a nice indoor PR last weekend in Lubbock. 21 feet. She's nationally ranked 6th right now. So, yeah, we have a lot of really great performances across the board.
Again, visiting with Husker track coach Justin Sinclair here on Sports Honey. Let's go to get on the track a little bit. A local product, Darius Luff, has had a really good Husker career. What kind of indoor season is he having?
He's doing great. You know, last weekend he had a little bit of a PR in Lubbock. He had ran 766. However, there's a conversion with the altitude, so then it got bumped up a little bit. But he's running at a very high level right now. And the beautiful thing is right now there's still some technical things that need to be ironed out. So I anticipate, and I think he anticipates, those times dropping even more. He's doing a really great job.
Frank Savine, his name is legendary around Husker track and field. It's the meet named after him this weekend. What, for the folks who maybe want to come out Friday or Saturday to watch something, what are some events that they might want to keep an eye on? What excites you as you look at kind of the entry forms?
I think, again, it's a little bit of a lengthy event because it's a 2-day event. Yep. The multi-events are really going to be great. We have an individual who is really standing out. And I would say at the end of the weekend, he's going to be one of the highest ranked nationally. His individual results have been exceptional. So if he can put all those together into the multi, it's going to be a really special day for him and for the program. I would say the field events, again, they're going to be strong. Both.
Are they spread over both days?
They are. The weight throw for men and women is on Friday.
Okay.
And then the shot put is on Saturday. And then same thing with the long jump and triple jump. One is on Friday, one is on Saturday. And those are going to be strong events.
Should be fun.
I mean, again, it's hard to carry. All of the events are going to be great. They're all going to be fun events, and Darius will be running. And so there's going to be a lot of, opportunity to see a lot of great competition.
In track, I know you're always trying to just kind of build a slow climb and get to some peak times. Indoor for the league is coming up in a few weeks. Do you feel like you're on track for some of that? How excited are you for a league? And I know it's still a few weeks away, but you got to be getting a little excited about a league meet.
I love competition.
Yeah.
Whether if it's competing on the track or in the classroom, whatever it is, I love to compete. I don't want us just to be good at one thing. I want us to be great at everything. I want us to compete in everything. And the conference is nearby. A lot of people think, we have a lot of time.
3 weeks.
But that time goes really quick.
Yeah.
It goes really quick. You come off of a long Christmas break. We have break for about 5 weeks. Now some individual, they report back early. But once you think about it, that 5 weeks, when you come back, you only have 7 weeks until the conference meet. About 30% of our time leading into the conference meet is on break. So the time goes really fast, that's my point. And the conference meet, it's going to be here really quick. And we haven't assembled every piece of our puzzle yet. We're still kind of maneuvering a few athletes here and there and getting them ready for their individual events. When we show up at the conference meet, we'll be ready to go.
February 24th when it gets cranked up in Geneva, Ohio. Coach Sinclair with us here on Sports Sonic. Congratulations again to you, the athletes. Keep it going. This has been fun to watch. To see both teams ranked right now, it's pretty exciting.
Thank you very much for having us, and the team's doing a really good job. Really proud of them.
Very good. Again, Frank Savine starts tomorrow at the Devaney Center, and a lot of events obviously on Saturday as well. Folks, buckle up, put the phone down. That's a reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. We're back to wrap up tonight's show next.
Nebraska women's basketball offers one of the best values in all of Husker sports with single-game reserve tickets at Pinnacle Bank Arena for just $15. Adult general admission seating is just $10, while youth and senior general admission tickets are $5. Children 6 and under are just $1. Plans now to bring your whole family to Husker women's basketball for Big Ten home games in January and February. Get your tickets and the full schedule at Huskers.com.
Husker fans, this is Matt Davison with the 1890 Initiative. You've probably heard about NIL, name, image, and likeness, and now you can have an immediate impact on the success of our programs. The 1890 Initiative is a proud NIL company in Nebraska, and with your help, we can maximize our student-athletes' opportunities with NIL and prepare them for life after college. Nebraska has always been a leader in college athletics. Let's do the same with NIL. To learn more, visit 1890nebraska.com, where 100% of your donation goes directly to Husker student-athletes. That's 1890nebraska.com.
Experience a better kind of used vehicle with Woodhouse Chevrolet when you shop our certified pre-owned inventory. Take advantage of our current certified pre-owned specials and save at Woodhouse Chevrolet. Receive 0.9% APR for 36 months or 3.9% APR for 60 months on select certified pre-owned vehicles. Explore our certified pre-owned inventory at our dealership in Missouri Valley, Iowa, or online anytime at WoodhouseGM.com. Find new roads when you shop at Woodhouse Chevrolet. WAC TTL must finance for GM Financial expires 3/31/2023.
Your story. It lives in River City, where you can enjoy a metropolitan vibe and a small town feel, where we set the standard for service and looking out for one another, where there's so much more than steak in our thriving food scene. Your story is the story of Omaha, told by those who live it and love it, whether that's helping you keep up with the Cornhuskers or creating the content you crave. And here in the Omaha World Herald is where it comes to life. Omaha World Herald, where your story lives.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Protect your empire. Rule your fields with dual modes of action. Low use rate Authority Supreme herbicide from FMC combines Group 14 and Group 15 modes of action for pre-plant and pre-emergence control of key broadleaf weeds and grasses. A preventative application keeps your fields clean when it matters most to crop productivity. Visit your FMC retailer or ag.fmc.com to learn more. Always read and follow all label directions.
When you're prepared for life, you get more out of life. When you're prepared, you spend less time worrying and more time doing the things you love. How prepared are you? When you're ready to find out, Emeritus is ready to help. First, we get to know you. Then we make a plan together, one that lets you enjoy today and prepare for tomorrow. That's what we call fulfilling life. Emeritus, insurance, employee benefits, financial services.
Folks, check out the Husker Extra mobile app for the team at Lincoln Journal Star. It's the best place for everything Husker sports. Search the App Store for Husker Extra and download today. Just a few minutes left for us tonight. Women's basketball pregame show starts at the top of the hour. Matt Coatney, Jeff Grease standing by out at PBA. Huskers, big one tonight. Michigan State. You can't call a game in the first week of February a must-win, but this is a big one tonight for the Huskers as they got to start reinflating that resume to get going toward March. So big game coming up at 7:30 tonight. Pregame coverage just here in a couple of minutes. Great to hear from Coach St. Clair about the Husker men's and women's track teams. They'll be competing over the weekend. Some other events going on campus over the weekend. Women's tennis. We talked to Coach Jacobson last week. They got off to a good 2-0 start. They will host Gonzaga at the Dillon Tennis Center on Saturday, and then also North Dakota. They'll play them on Saturday as well. You've got men's tennis back home after going 1-1 on their trip back to the Carolinas last week. They've got Cornell in on Saturday over the weekend. Men's gym, we're going to hear from Chuck Schmelka tomorrow night. They've got Michigan at the Devaney Center on Saturday night, 6 o'clock. First time they have been home, and they're off to a great start. They're ranked third in the country, our men's gym, so a chance. And they're not home very often, but a chance for you to see them at the Devaney Center, 6 o'clock on Saturday night. The women actually compete Monday night at the Devaney Center against Iowa. So if you love women's gym, Monday night, they'll be out there as well. Men's basketball, as Coach Hoiberg just mentioned earlier in the hour, home Sunday, taking on the Penn State Nittany Lions with a game time of 3:30, 2:30 for pregame coverage on Sunday. But women's basketball headed your way tonight. Big one against Sparty out at PBA. Our Sports Nightly Hotline brought to you by our good friends at Woodhouse, where you can shop your way from one of the 16 convenient locations or online at woodhouse.com anytime. With 18 brands and a huge selection of pre-owned, you can always find what you are looking for with Woodhouse. Thanks to Cole for steering the ship for us tonight. Stick around. Husker women's basketball straight ahead.
hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Since 1993, Dakota Mac has offered fixed long-term ag real estate loans perfect for any stage of life. The rebellious 15-year loan, the here for laundry 20-year loan, and the 30-year loan who thinks they can tell you a thing or two about parenting. Whatever your needs, trust Dakota Mac with your legacy.
Hi, it's Nick Reno from Dakota Mac. Please call me at 308-380-7564 to learn all about our competitive rates on ag real estate loans.
Hey everyone, I'm Mark Wahlberg, and I have some exciting news to share. At Wahlburgers, we are all about bringing the family together to enjoy a great meal and have a great time. That's why right now, for a limited time, kids eat free every day at all Hy-Vee Wahlburger locations. Kids 12 and under can enjoy one free kids meal with any purchase of an adult burger, sandwich, or entree salad.
Bring the family to Wahlburgers and the Wahlburgers and Hy-Vee stores, where right now kids can eat free.
I'm University of Nebraska-Lincoln student Hannah Pham with Campus News. Students in Nebraska's Rake School of Computer Science and Management created software that is saving a Nebraska e-commerce company 34,000 hours of work per year. Created by a group of 5 Rake School students for their Design Studio Capstone project, this software is one of 300 real-world software solutions created by Rake School students.
Farmers can make what seems impossible reality with a little hard work and ingenuity. They find solutions to reduce inputs and improve their yield. Valley Irrigation is no different. As the leader in irrigation technology, we deliver results and optimize your operation. Because when you have a vision for the future, you need the people that can make it possible by your side. Expect what's next